guys, I'm your host ZJack.
And I'm your host Ronnie.
And you're now watching and listening to the World of 180 Degrees podcast. What's up, guys? World of 180 Degrees here. You know, my boy Ronnie. And we got two special guests on the show today. You guys can introduce yourselves.
I'm Simon Views.
I'm Pablo Novelli at St. Pablo.
And they are the owners, creators of Views 414. It's a clothing brand here in Milwaukee. Kind of tell us like how you guys met.
That was when was it? That's 2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we met. I went into Trusted Cakes and Simon works at Trusted Cakes, and we just started like chopping it up, just random, right?
Yeah. So like, what happened was, it was like around closing time, and then you walked in like last second, and I remember you bought a Supreme hat that was like sitting in the case forever, and I was like, oh cool, like someone's finally buying this hat. It's been like it's been sitting here forever. And I was like, oh, what's your name, bro? You're like, Pablo. I was like, where do you go to school? UWM. And I was like, asking you like all these questions. You're telling me how like you do graphic design. And I was like, damn, okay, that's dope. Because like, I've always wanted to learn that because I've always wanted to start my own clothing brand. And then you're like, and I asked you, I'm like, shit, you want to start a clothing brand? And you're like, sure. And it was history after that.
Yeah.
So that first day.
Actually, so it was like, we talked about that back in 2018. And we're like, yeah, cool, bro, I'll hit you up. But we kind of never like got into it, you know? Like we never got like connected after that. But then I think it was the year after last year, 2019, we actually, met up and like went through with it. Yeah.
Okay. In December.
You remember
it was
that,
in December, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that day in Trusted Cakes, y'all actually planned like, you actually asked him like, let's start a clothing brand like that day.
Yeah.
First day. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Uh-huh.
So what is Trusted Cakes for the people out there that don't know?
So Trusted Cakes is like it's like a resale store. So like we carry like pretty much like all the heavy items like Off-White, Travis Scott's, Jordan 1s, all the heat that you can't find in regular stores, like Foot Locker and all that. Yeah.
How was the intro process for like starting the brand? Because I know that's usually the hardest, starting it off.
Yeah.
Well, it was a lot of, research we had to do. It was a lot of planning we had to do, It was like, it took some time, some planning to do, but, I think we both had like our goals in the same place. We both were on the same page when it came to the brand.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of made everything easier. We both agreed on the same things. And, just like slowly talking to people, researching, we got to the right spots we were supposed to. And, it just kind of all came together.
Okay. Cool. So like you've always been in fashion. Have you always been in fashion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when did that love for fashion come for you, both of y'all?
Okay, so I've always been into clothes since I was a little kid because my mom is like super big on clothes. So I feel like I get it from my mom's side. Mm-hmm. My dad is the complete opposite. Like he doesn't care about clothes at all. So like it kind of like blends into because like my mom likes high end fashion. I'm not really too much of like a high end guy. I like to look at it and like do research on it. I'm more of like a streetwear person. But when I really really started getting like heavy into it, I say like my freshman year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I was never really able to afford it, but like I always like, look into like streetwear and all that, and that's how I came across Supreme, Bape, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty much where my start was.
What about for you?
Yeah, and like for me, I grew up in Venezuela, and down there like the highest end stuff is like American Eagle or Aeropostale. That was like the highest you could get, Okay. And like even with shoes, like the shoes y'all got here, we got them like 3 years after,
Oh.
Like we were never on it.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you know that show, what's it called? Don't Wear That.
Nah.
You never seen that show? Mm-hmm. It's a show in which like, they go to people who don't know how to dress, like two professionals, they go to people who don't know how to dress and, teach them how to dress, like get them a new closet.
Okay.
I used to watch that with my mom because my mom really liked that. And, once I moved here, then I had access to all these brands and all this stuff. That's when like my love for fashion really ballooned, I guess.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like how long have you been wanting to have a brand? Because like it seems like you kind of like want to do it and you met up with him and stuff. So like how long did you have that idea?
Man, it's probably been before it started. I say like 3 years. Yeah, like all the creators I feel like have sketchbooks, stuff they draw in sketchbooks, and like I always wanted to bring it to life, but I never really knew how. It's because like I'll have like a million things bobbling in my mind at once, like, and I try to draw it out as much as possible. But like, you know, I was never really able to produce it. And I feel like clothes really allows me to bring like the blank canvas out to like life, so like people can see other things.
Yeah,
I remember that's one thing Virgil said, like the plain white tee is like so powerful because you can put anything you want on it. So that's like the real reason why like I really like streetwear.
Okay. And like, how did that name Views 4 and 4, how did that come about?
It was a weird process.
It was super weird because we always because like me and him, we think exactly like we always have a whole bunch of ideas, but like we really don't put labels on things, you know. So it's like, it's almost like every clothing brand obviously needs a name. So Views is kind of just like our label. Okay. You know, the name could change, you know, we really don't know. It could be something else in a year or two.
Definitely like the name, you know, when we first started thinking, what was it? We wanted to say something like perspective or like something like that. Because we wanted to really emphasize, you know, that theme throughout. Because, you know, we both come from like very different backgrounds. And we wanted to show that through our clothes. We wanted to show, you know, the different views, you know, with it.
So since you guys come from different backgrounds, how is the collaborative process when you're coming up with like different ideas and creative ideas for new shirts or whatever?
All right, so that's a really good question. One thing a lot of people don't know is me and Pablo are first generation, so we think a lot alike. So like this first collection that we've been doing, Vision 1, is kind of me and Pablo's view on coming into Milwaukee and living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And pretty much every single piece we've dropped kind of has like a sense of meaning almost, would you say?
Okay.
Yeah, I think just like our creative process, you know, back when like we first came out with like this first tee that we came out, you know, I remember one night I was driving him home. I gave him a ride home and we were just talking about life. And we just came up with just like so many different ideas and just like how we grew up and how it's different from how other people grew up. Like, you know, the way I grew up can be different from how you grew up. And like maybe both of you, you're from Milwaukee?
Yeah.
You're from Milwaukee too? Yeah. Both of y'all, you know, had similar experience, but it's not the same, you know?
Yeah.
And just like that feeling, it's kind of just how the foundation of our creative process, just like our differences and how we can, you know, put them out there and how people how we can help people relate to those experiences even though we didn't have, you know, we didn't grow up the same.
Right.
Okay.
So how is Venezuela? How was growing up there as a kid?
Definitely different. I always tell people that everything is like 5 years behind down there. Okay. You know, like everything you guys get, we would get them like, you know, a couple of years after. You know, the whole school system is different, you know, just the whole life is different down there. But definitely, I don't know how to say this, it's much more community-based. I feel like here in the U.S., it's a lot of being individual, doing yourself, doing your thing. Down there, it's just like more of a teamwork. Everyone wants to do their thing together, you know? And
it's crazy because people always ask me, are you the only one who runs Views? Does Pablo only run Views? I'm like, no, like it's really both of us. And like it's like just surprising to people because you don't really see clothing brands with like two people running everything, but there's always one person and like their idea, you know. So I feel like that's what makes us kind of more different,
like unique. Okay.
Yeah.
So like where do you guys see the brand going? Like, what's your goal?
What can we say? There's some stuff we have on, you know, in the back of our heads.
Yeah, we have a lot of big goals.
We got a lot of big goals on, but like we definitely want to, you know, eventually in the future, I think we want to expand outside of Milwaukee as well. You know, so Milwaukee's always gonna be, you know, a big spot for us. You know, but we also want to expand to, you know, other bigger cities. You know, say I don't know, like Atlanta, Chicago, whatever might come. You know,
Okay,
that's our plan.
Okay. So anything specific, like any specific goals for 2020? Like where do you see like? What goals do you have just for this year? Like, where do you want to be by the time 2021 comes?
Yeah, so for 2020, we're expected to do like 5 different pop-ups in like 5 different cities. I know Atlanta, we're doing one. Houston, we're doing one. We're trying to get one in New York. Miami for sure. Ooh. Maybe LA. You know, LA is like, that's probably going to be like our biggest challenge. If anything, that's probably be like the last one.
expensive.
Yeah. First of all, it's expensive. Second, it's just a huge market.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's important to get out to those huge markets because there's more people there, obviously.
Yeah.
And then that'll grab more people's attention, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's like really important to like, you know, just get yourself out there. That's really the goal. We really don't have any goals of like how many people we reach, how many units we sell. It's really about having people see as much of us as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially, you know, like talking bandwagoning off of that. It's not so much about, like, for us, it's not so much about selling. It's not about making the most money. It's not about making, you know, being huge, being millionaires. I mean, sure, if that comes, great, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more of yesterday we went to Daryl Brown's talk at Sneaks, you know.
Okay.
And he said something that like stuck to me. He said something, it's not a trend, it's a lifestyle, you know. Like to us, we want to, you know, really leave this message behind, this legacy for us. It's not about, you know, making the coolest clothes. It's about, you know, really portraying how we feel, and, you know, we really want to show the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that's the point of us. We want to just spread the message as many parts as we can.
For real.
Okay. Yeah.
So, growing up, who were the fashion influences for you guys?
I'm going to let you go first because I already know what you're going to say.
Growing up, definitely fashion influences for me were a lot of, like, you know, reggaeton singers. You know, like J Balvin was a big one. Daddy Yankee was a big, you know, I've been listening to like J Balvin since like 6th grade.
Okay.
And, you know, even back then, his style was like much more, you know, toned down. But it was like, wow, he's, you know, he's fresh as hell, you know. And then Daddy Yankee, ever since like Gasolina came out, that was like when I was like 2 years old. You know?
Everybody know that song.
Right? Like you saw the music video, you saw what he was wearing. It's like, wow, he's fresh. You know, like I don't have no idea what he's wearing, but it's like it looks really dope. You know. And just like that in my mom was also another big fashion influence for me because, you know, she always had the freshest like clothes you could have. You know, she was always the best dressed. She would always have these dresses and, you know, all this stuff together. It's like, wow, man, Mom, you got like a really cool fit onto them. So I don't know. Those are my two biggest inspirations growing up.
Wow, you need to say Kanye?
I mean, Kanye. You know, Kanye came after. You know,
I get beat up.
I didn't know. Here's the thing. I didn't know Kanye. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know Kanye at all.
Okay.
Until Pablo came out.
Okay.
When Life of Pablo came out, I was in high school. That was my first year when I moved to America. And somebody said, "Oh, this dude Kanye West came out with an album that has your name," and I was like, "Who the fuck is Kanye West?"
Wait, how old were you when you moved here?
15, 16.
Okay.
I was 16 when I moved here.
Okay.
And you know, that's when like I really got into Kanye and like I really connected to him. But that's another story for another day.
So, what was your influence?
From what would you like? What's the time frame you say? Because that's
like,
a lot.
13. I want to say 13, 12.
Well, you said he really got into it like freshman year of high school, right?
Yeah, like
so,
that.
Yeah, from that time on.
From that time on, I mean, obviously Kanye West. Just like when he dropped the album Yeezus, like I was like, man, like I don't even know how to explain it. Like he didn't really like music and fashion always like play a role together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say that his music specifically influenced the way I dressed, but in a way it did, because like his music is like kind of like loud, kind of obnoxious, and like I'd say that's kind of how I dressed, but like I kind of did it in like a low key way, and like, you know, like I come to school wearing like the funkiest stuff. People would be like, "What are you wearing? Like, you look like this, you look like that. You know, you look like Ronald McDonald. You look like a clown."
Yeah.
Like, I was like, "Okay, good." Like, shit. Like it was just funny to me. Like, I feel like the way Kanye portrays himself is he does whatever he wanted.
Yep.
And that's
for sure.
That's exactly how I was dressing.
Yeah, I'm a musician, so I get that.
Yeah.
I wear crazy stuff.
For sure. That's good.
I remember back in high school when I used to like dress really preppy. Like that was my style. Like, you know, I would wear like button ups and, you know, I would wear like suspenders. Like on a normal day to school.
No.
I remember the
suspenders?
suspender swag.
I would be wearing suspenders to school with like Chelsea boots, like, you know, like the preppy guy, right? That was my style, you know. But like sometimes I would come in with, like, super clean cut and stuff. And you know, sometimes I would come in and people would be like, "Dude, what are you wearing, dude? It's like Monday. It's high school, bro. Calm down." It's like, "Oh, man, you gotta just go out, you know. You gotta go all out."
Okay.
Yeah, for me, like, I remember I always used to wear this specific. It was a pair of yellow pants, like yellow pants.
Yellow pants.
Yeah, I was the only one
That's
in the
bold.
school.
That's
I was
bold.
the only one in the school with those yellow pants. So like, I'd always wear those on random days, and they were like, well, "Look at you wearing with your yellow pants again." I'd be like, "Yeah, you ain't got them. Shit, I do." No,
Okay. What high school did you go to?
Dominican high school.
Well, my brother went there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how was it? I feel like there's some kids in Dominican who got some heat. Like, do
Yeah.
you think they'll? You feel like you were the best dressed?
Freshman year, no. Senior year, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, I had to step up my game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what high school did you go to?
I went to Martin Luther.
Okay, that kind of explains a lot how you dress like that and stuff. Nah, I'm playing. I feel like people at Martin Luther. I don't really know too much about Martin Luther.
Yeah, it's a
Is
very.
that a uniform school?
No,
It's a really small school though. Like my graduating class was like 80 people, maybe less.
I remember I first heard Martin Luther High School. I was like, where is this school hiding at
It's
this
like
whole
South
time?
Side. It's like
Yeah.
Greenfield, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right by the Southridge Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's far.
It's like right across the street. It's like by Chick-fil-A and stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything else you guys want to do besides like the brand, like any other businesses you guys have?
Artistic endeavors.
Yeah, I want to open my own shoe store eventually. So,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say if, I should say once this clothing brand becomes something big, I hopefully will be able to like have like a Views clothing store / shoes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like shoes play a big role into like the outfits that people wear. So,
Mm-hmm.
and shoes really changed my life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for shoes. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be here if it wasn't for shoes. You know.
Well, you're in a good position. I feel like working at
Yeah.
Trusted Kicks, like you kind of know like all the stuff that goes on
For
with
sure.
having a store and stuff.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So what about you?
I want to open a school.
A school.
I want to open up a school in the
Damn.
future.
Why don't you be telling me this stuff, bro? I ain't know
He's like, I
that.
don't even know you.
I want to open up a school in the future. I want to have like this creative school, like, you know, that you can go to, like a creative hub, and you can just like, you know, just put your soul in, you like, you know, when you can let yourself go create stuff. Like I want to make a big emphasis on creating, like, you know, because I feel like we as humans, you know, we have this need to, you know, make things, you know, like we come up with things in our minds and we just have to like put them somewhere. You know, I want to make this school where that's the main goal. You know, this is like 30 years down the road, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, but it's always like something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Open up a school, and I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
That's
different.
crazy. I kind of want to do something. Like, I really don't tell anyone about it, but like, just like having just being like a marketing major, I feel like I kind of have to do something with that. So I kind of want to open like my own creative agency, you know, for kind of like what he's doing with the school. Just have like a creative space for people to come record music, you know, make clothes, make art, paint, you know.
Yeah.
It's like one big hub, kind of like he said.
Okay.
Yeah. Somewhere in the Midwest, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be in the Midwest for sure. Because I feel like there's a lot of us out here that are
It
just
is.
like underground.
It is.
Yeah.
The Midwest has some of the most talented people.
Yeah. Pretty underrated, I say.
For real.
Yeah, we have Michael Jackson, Prince, all of them. We had all of them.
I'm thinking like, what you talking about? Oh, yeah, Indiana.
Yeah, we have the
He is
most.
from.
We have
Yeah.
the most talented people ever.
Yeah, now that I think about it, damn. Crazy.
So it's like anybody that's like notable or like famous that has worn like a piece of your clothing or.
Not yet, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Famous.
Yeah.
Not
Definitely working on that.
Who
Yeah,
would
it's
you wanna
something
see
in the
in it?
works.
Dang.
Kanye.
Kanye most
Yeah.
definitely.
That's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bold. Man.
Not on this new wave. He's on this. I want to help everybody with the wave. He's gonna help.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
No, some people that I'd want to see, like, just because like they're based out of Milwaukee, is Tyler Hero and Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely want to get some pieces out to them.
Yeah, they probably really would do that.
Yeah,
Jordan
I feel
Poole
like
can
they
dress. Yeah.
I feel like they
he
would.
can dress. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He used to DM me. He used to DM me like back before he's in the NBA. When he was in college. He's like, yeah, what heat you have is size 13, and I'd be like this and that, and like, you know, I always try to like get him out shoes and all that. So that was pretty cool.
Okay, so you kind of got that connection already. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You just send him some stuff. I'm pretty sure he'll
Yeah,
wear
sure.
that stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, Giannis definitely too.
Giannis.
I feel like
Yeah.
if Giannis pulls out with like a VC, it's kind of.
Yeah, he blew up. He's so famous now. He's like
Yeah.
he's big time, like super big time now. Like
What they did for Milwaukee is crazy.
Crazy.
That's only the start too. Like I feel like that's just one step.
yeah,
Like, it's a different place now.
Totally. I feel like in 5 years, like Milwaukee's gonna be like a big Midwest.
Yeah, people want to start coming here.
It's
now,
already
like,
changing.
Yeah.
It's already changing.
Yeah. So is it any place that you guys would want to move to like help grow your brand, or you want to stay just here in Milwaukee?
No, I can't stay in Milwaukee. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this year, I've like started to like slowly travel more. 2 weeks ago, I was in Atlanta. Last week, and I was in Houston, and that was my first time traveling like 12 years. So I've been in the Midwest for 12 years.
Wow, you haven't traveled anywhere?
No, I take that back. I went to Toronto this summer.
Oh, I want to go to Toronto.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah, I
want
need
to go to Toronto.
Yeah, definitely got to get out there. The people are there different. People super chill.
Yeah.
I told my mom one day, when I turn 30, I'm moving to Toronto.
Yeah.
Why
nice.
30?
Because
That's
I just
random.
I'm gonna be where I want to be at 30. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
so
I guess.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but,
what you do in Atlanta?
I want to visit out some uncles. I have my friend who's out there. He actually has his own clothing brand out there. It's called Hood Designer Studios, and every single piece that he drops, he hand makes it. So he's pretty good at cut and sew. So he's good at like all that patchwork stuff. Patchwork is kind of like, I noticed it's kind of starting to become a trend a little bit, but he's really good at that. So I hope that really does good for him. We're gonna collab with him this summer too.
Nice.
And have a pop up down there, so hopefully that goes pretty well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Miami. I always keep bringing up Miami. Miami's like my second home, because all my friends from like back home in Venezuela, they all live over there.
Miami's a melting pot.
Dude, yeah, love it so much. So I try to go to Miami like as many times as I can in the year, and I feel like a lot of people like have been messing with us with like views and stuff like that, like saying, dude, you should bring some, like, send some of that heat down here.
Yeah.
So definitely that's another place we're coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah, my mentor lives down there too, so I think I'm supposed to go there in May. Yeah, hopefully in May, because Rolling Loud is in Miami in May, so yeah, I gotta get down there.
That's a move.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, I'm down there. For sure.
Do you guys have any advice for anybody that want to start their own brand or own business or anything?
I just started already. Just do it.
do
Stop
it.
thinking
Just do
about
it.
it for real.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Think about the details later.
Yeah,
you know?
you're gonna fall. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. You know, you're gonna take a lot of losses.
Lose money.
Yeah, that's all part of it.
That's all part of it.
Yeah.
Facts.
But my advice though is don't do it by yourself. Talk with people. Like, connect to others. Ask for help.
Yeah.
Because by asking for help, you're gonna save yourself money and losses.
Yeah.
If you
For
just
real.
say, hey, how can I do this?
Yeah,
even if
for
you
real.
just Google it, that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess that's all we got for y'all. Thanks for coming out, man. Great conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can say y'all Instagram and stuff in case I forget to tag y'all. So
Simon.views. That simple.
Advanced PhD.
all right. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Yeah.
We out.